And what's going on, guys? Kale here, coming at you with another video. For those of you new to the channel, I am an endgame player with 4 accounts, 3 of which are in the endgame, and the 4th one is just a new baby account that I've kind of been working on again. But today we are on Vhagar, and we are on my larger account, and this video is basically going to be just kind of talking about skill and just kind of an updated skill video. So just kind of look at things. Someone in my alliance has actually posted a kind of minimal investment skill solution, essentially, and this is definitely something that is an option, I think, especially if you're really struggling in skill. At this point, my skill team is pretty highly developed. I'm basically working on taking them to a higher gear level, or not gear level rather, but a higher actual level. So they're at 91 currently, which is Vhagar's max level at the moment. And but to just kind of, I guess, talk about that modified skill team, what people are finding to be very useful is in the first node, you basically take in Kingpin. And Kingpin, again, I think minimal investment is gear 14, so level 75 essentially, and basically when he spawns he actually summons his minions, which is they pre-taunt, and basically the ideology behind bringing him in is that there is going to be less RNG as to who the Lokis mind control. And then for the second node, you're bringing in Hawkeye over here, and again, kind of very similar. You are again, G14, level 75, and mainly you're bringing him in for his special, and his special is basically going to reduce turn meter, and then on top of that, what you're going to do is then you're going to use the ultimate to blind Ghost Rider, and it basically kind of negates his passive pings. But there's definitely already a video out for that. As I mentioned, someone in the Alliance has already done that. If you're watching and you're a member of my Alliance. And then also, if you're just looking at just skill videos, there are certainly plenty of them. But this video, personally, is just going to be for if you are semi-stubborn like myself and you are planning to still use your Secret Avengers Kestrel+Shang Chi, basically how I go about doing these nodes. And I would say, honestly, probably it's the first 2 nodes that are the problem, and the boss node isn't so much of a problem. I don't think it's as big of an issue as the first 2 nodes. But anyway, let's just jump into it. And there's going to be kind of a couple things that we're kind of paying attention to. And keep in mind, we are running the risk of bad RNG. And when you do run into a situation of bad RNG, you're better off just actually retreating and kind of counting your losses, versus healing and all that stuff. So Maria Hill over here did take a little bit of a pounding, but she's okay. I'm going to actually start off doing Kestrel's special. And just kind of going down the middle. We've got no choice but to go after Red Guardian. I then use the ultimate with Shang-Chi, and that'll probably delete quite a few. And with a Kestrel ping, you'll delete another. I'm now going to go in and I use Cap Sam's ultimate. So pretty standard stuff so far. Nothing groundbreaking or game-breaking. These aren't some crazy new ideas. What I am doing now, though, is something is going to change, essentially, with what has dropped. And basically, I want to make sure that the Hellas don't actually take a turn. So in order to do that, I'm going to go in with Shang-Chi's special, and I've got a slow on one of the Hellas, which she's almost dead. And now I am going to use Cap Sam's special over here. And the idea is I want to build up some energy for the next node. So now we want to slow down this Hela over here because she's getting really close to taking a turn. So to do that, we go in with Sharon's basic over there, actually. And now, kind of depending on where you are health-wise, is kind of going to be the determination. If you're in a situation where one of your characters is nearly dead, you might want to consider using Maria's ultimate. But in my case, everyone is kind of in the green. I think we're in a good position. So I'm going to go in with the basic. And, basically we just kind of want to make sure that Hela over here doesn't take a turn. So now that we've kind of basically neutered the Hela, I'm going to basically go in and just kind of do basics. And I did get very lucky with the sense that Kestrel did actually get some of the energy from Cap Sam, so I have her special available on turn 1, which is going to help make the next node a lot easier. So today here, this is a very good RNG day. Basically, the right targets were targeted on my side, and yeah, so this was a good, go through. But you'll notice I'm just using basics. All we have is a Black Widow over here. So Black Widow's down. That was a good first attempt. Main things to kind of take away. Again, once you basically have the Hellas drop, you want to basically CC them. And I apologize, I guess, for using the CC term, but that comes from the old World of Warcraft days, but basically crowd control. So you want to kind of control them, and you can do that by basically slowing them. So we're going into the second node here, and if it does matter at all, just looking at the ISO 8 selection, we have Cap Sam as a raider, Shang Chi as a raider, both Kestrel and Sharon Carter are strikers, and Maria Hill is a healer. So pretty standard ISO 8 selection. Again, nothing really, groundbreaking, game-breaking, or, I haven't reinvented the wheel with that. So we're going in with the second node. The second node I definitely think is probably the more challenging of the two nodes. And we're going to talk about how I, for the most part, fairly consistently am able to one-shot this. Now, I did get lucky in the sense that not a lot of bleeds landed from Morbius over here, so we're in a good spot there. If you do run into a situation where one of your characters has an insane amount of bleeds and they bleed out, just back out and, basically retreat and go back into the node. So we're going to slow everyone down with Shang-Chi's ultimate over here. And basically what I'm targeting now, I got rid of Anti-Venom, and now we are going after Silver Samurai. So again, he is getting close to taking a turn. I don't want him to do that because he'll start with his ultimate. So we're going to use the basic, which slows him down and also reduces his turn meter. Now, depending on where you are here, one of your characters might be in the yellow. If that is the case, go ahead and pop Maria Hill's ultimate. But we're not there yet, so we're going to hold on to it. So I'm going to basic, and you're noticing here I am avoiding using Maria Hill's special. I don't want the summons. The summons, believe it or not, in these nodes are actually more of a detriment than they are a help. So now's an important thing. We are going to go in and ult on Ghost Rider over here. And again, we want to slow him down. So we are going to go in with Shang-Chi's basic there. And, okay, we lost Shang-Chi, which is not good. Let's see. We're going to do the special. Now, if I'm able to walk away from this, and all I have to do is kind of revive Shang-Chi, not the worst. I could actually probably back out and probably get better RG where we would be fine. But let's see if we can kind of clear this anyway. Alright, so he is just about dead. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go over here and we're going to stun Carnage. And that's just basically to stop him from getting his turn meter. And I got lucky there as well. And Sharon, just from the AoE, from her chaining, she actually chained over to Ghost Rider. So Ghost Rider's down. So the next one I'm going to go after now is Deathpool. I just want to get a defense down on her. And what I'm going to actually avoid hitting is if I was going into the boss node, what I'd want to do is I'd want to have basically all of my abilities available. So what I would normally do is I would basically farm the Multiple Man over here. So Multiple Man will typically be the last person I kill, just so I can farm him to basically make sure all of my abilities are ready. But in today's case, the boss node has already been engaged, and I think it should be an easy cleanup from what I've been told, so we will check that out, and in theory it should be pretty easy to go in. So we're going to pop down here with the special. And now at this point, I am going to actually start saving some of my abilities. And normally, time-wise, I wouldn't be running into these time constraints. That's typically what I find I start running out of time is basically when I'm running my mouth in these videos. But anyway, so we're doing okay. Like I said, we did lose Shang-Chi. Honestly, I could have probably gone in and retreated and basically redid this, and I probably would have been fine. But that is kind of one of the risks you take taking in the OG team. It definitely makes things a little bit more RNG dependent and probably a little less consistent. But for the most part, if I'm only having to revive one character, I'm okay with it. On Vhagar in particular, I don't really have to use any health packs anywhere in the raids except occasionally on skill. So typically, I will have plenty of health packs for my push day, which for my alliance is on Mondays, and throughout the week, if I only need to revive one character, I'm okay with it. So was this the cleanest? No. Could I probably have avoided it by, instead of using Shang-Chi's basic, I actually probably could have used his special, and that would have given him a little health, and he actually probably would have survived that attack, and we wouldn't have ran into that. But it is what it is. Stuff like that happens, and kind of you have to take your own, like, where are we? What do I need to accomplish? I knew that the third skill node rather, is in a pretty good place. So we're going to go in and clean that up really quick. What I will say though is when I am trying to one-tap the skill node, what I will typically try to do is I want to make sure there's a couple key things I want available. The first being I want Kestrel's ultimate available, and what I typically will do is I will use the ultimate on the Strife, and I will get rid of his taunt. And once that is done, I'll actually then go in and stun the first Madeline Pryor, because the Madeline Priors do a lot of damage. And then once that's been accomplished, I'll kind of start working on who's ever the lowest health-wise. And what I'll then do is I'll go in and then I ability block Doom when it's available. But yeah, so that was a quick little, this is skill. What I do want to say though, I want to see if I get some better RNG. So one of the benefits of having multiple accounts is we can hop over to another account and see how the RNG goes in those skill sections. So let's look over here. I think I'm going to try on Vermithor, which is my next largest account, if it loads up over here. Here we go. So Vermithor, again, very comparable as far as, basically, I mean, it's, very similar to Vhagar. But anyway... Don't know why I'm rambling. Let's hop into skill. We'll see what happens, and I think also in a way this kind of gives a little bit more perspective of like the RNG component of skill. And let's see what happens with this attempt. I am going to change the default settings, and again, very similar. Same ISOs. I think it's a little bit less power. Let me look really quick. So on Vhagar, not much of a difference though. On Vhagar, my team's power is 1.162, and on Vermithor, it's 1.153. So very comparable. It's only a difference of about, 10k, which isn't really much in the skill nodes. So let's go in with the first, and again, I'm going to kind of employ the same strategy. It's been working pretty well for me, I would say the past... maybe about a month and a half, 2 months. It's gone pretty good. So again, like I said, there is occasionally those days where you just get the horrible RNG, and it happens. And in situations like that, I think if you're not on a push day in particular, you just kind of count your losses and move along. So we had good RNG here again. Not one of the squishier characters got targeted by the mind control. So we started off with the special again. We're going in with the ult, and we have cleared a couple. But you'll notice here, so like in this situation on Vhagar, we actually cleared the Thor, and in this case we didn't. So We do want to make sure we get rid of Thor, so actually over here I am going to use the special, Sharon Carter special that is. Or her ultimate rather, excuse me. I don't want Thor kind of like popping off and doing his Thory stuff. He hits really hard in 3.4, and that's not something we want. So got rid of Thor, and I also want to make sure we get rid of this taunt from Sif. So the easiest way to do that is to kill her. So we'll use the special with Cap Sam just to build some energy. And now the Hela is dropped. And again, similar strategy. So you basically pick a Hela, you go in with Sharon Carter's basic. I'm going to use the special over here just to get a ping. Okay, doing good there. Now I'm going to go in with Shang-Chi and get slow on the other one. And I'm going to target this one. Actually, I think I should have targeted the middle one. She has more speed bar currently. So let's switch on back over to the center one, which is a bit unfortunate because I actually should have gotten the defense down on her. And here we're going... See, bad RNG. So we actually lost Cap Sam. So we're going to go in here and retreat. And that's kind of the risk of bringing in Secret Adventures. That is where the Kingpin in this situation can be a little bit more helpful because you do have those summons, and those summons will have taunt. And they're squishy, so you don't really care if they die. But let's go in with attempt number 2, see if we do a little better here, and then we will move on to node 1. Or we're on node 1, we'll move on to node 2 and see how that goes. So starting kind of the same thing again. Let's see, Shang-Chi got targeted this time, still okay though. He does have defense down, which I'm not super crazy about, but it's okay. Typically this first wave doesn't take too many turns. Let's see, got that one gone. And we're going to go in with the ultimate here. So we got rid of a lot more characters this time. I think we just kind of ran into a situation. I think we crit a few more times that in this actual attempt. So this is a better RNG run. We'll go in, we'll slow him over the hair, stop him from basically kind of going. And everyone is kind of nice and healthy, so I'm not too worried about health. Go ahead and pop the special again, get some ability energy. And now our Helas are out again. Let's see. Okay, pop that, boom. And again, we'll go in with a Sharon. And I think I'm going to actually go after this one, because I'm going to target her with Kestrel's basic. Because doing that, I'll basically hit her and Loki, and kind of guaranteed. We'll now go in and slow Hela. And now I'm actually going to start working on Loki. Got him taken out, so we don't have to run into the risk of the second mind control. And we need to slow this Hela down now. Got rid of some speed bar for her. And I'm basically kind of flip-flopping between the Helas. Let's see. I don't need Kestrel's ult immediately, so let's get rid of that Hela. And this should actually top her off. There we go. So that is a better RNG attempt. And also in kind of like the same way, it's also a lesson. Don't be afraid to back out of a fight, especially if it's in a situation where you maybe don't have the health packs to spare. There's no shame in retreating, especially from the skill nodes. They are so RNG dependent if you are taking in the OG team. So we'll go in with the second node. And then actually on this account, the boss node hasn't been attempted yet. So I'll actually, assuming the skill node 2 goes well in at least 2 attempts, I'll then go into the boss node and show at least how, if the RNG is on my side, how I attempt that node. And like I said, if the RNG is on my side, I can either get a very solid 1-tap or have it set up kind of perfectly for the 2-tap. Now, we're in a situation here, we do have quite a few bleeds on Sharon, and so what we'll probably do here to kind of alleviate the bleeds is we will actually probably use Maria's ultimate, and that's just basically keep everyone healthy. Again, we're going into the ultimate with Shang-Chi, and got rid of him. We are going to go in and slow the Silver Samurai. And like I said, we want everyone healed up. We don't want the characters in the yellow in particular, because now what's going to happen is the next wave is going to drop, which is going to include Carnage. And if anyone's in the yellow, it's going to be a very short tap to get them to the red. And then Carnage starts getting his speed up and he starts going crazy. Now, the only thing I don't like is I didn't have the ultimate available with Kestrel. And the only reason I like the ultimate is just that it really takes a large dent out of Ghost Rider, and it really just kind of helps you take him out faster. But what we'll do is we'll go in and we will stun him, and that'll basically stop him from pinging people, and that should be kind of comparable. Actually, we might not need to stun him. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to go in and stun him just to be on the safe side. This will probably kill him. It did. Worst case, though, we did get a slow on Carnage over here, which a slow on Carnage is certainly not a bad thing. Cap Sam does have his taunt currently, which is good. I want to get rid of Carnage, and basically Deathpool are kind of my prime targets. So we got rid of Carnage, and now we're going to start focusing on Deathpool. And what we'll then also start doing is we are going to then kind of farm the multiple man and make sure all of our abilities are ready for that boss node. So I'm going to go in. I'm actually going to do the super kick again. Just going to get a little more CC going. I don't like where a lot of the enemy's speed bar is, so that was just kind of my way of getting it a little bit more under control. And kind of what I'm going to do from now on out is I'm just going to basically basic these guys to death. And kind of like I said, the key abilities I want available, I want Kestrel's ultimate available, which it should be now. I would ideally like Cap Sam's ultimate available. And then I definitely want Sharon Carter's special and ultimate both available as well. So I'm going to basically take care of the kind of two problem ones. And now I'm going to start farming multiple man. So basically I'll kill a bunch of ads. And then he's going to spawn all the dupes. And I'm going to use these dupes to basically just kind of slowly kill them and build my energy back. And I'm going to use Cap Sam's special to kind of speed up that process as well. Because he is going to kind of counter-attack most of these. And let's see where we are. Alright, so Kestrel is good to go. And let's see where we are with the others. Maria Hill is good to go. Sharon Carter needs one more turn, so I'm going to target this dupe real quick just to get another dupe on the field. And Cap Sam is going to need one more turn after this, and then he will be good. So we'll go in and basic. We will basic again. And basically you can do this as long as you have the timer for it. So Sharon Carter will now be ready for the next node. And basically Cap Sam is the only one we're looking at. So Cap Sam should take another turn. Here we are. So Cap Sam will be ready. So all of our characters are ready to go. So now we can finish this node off and move on to the boss node. So this was a good RNG one. Actually much better than Vagar actually had. As we had no losses. Abilities are all primed and ready to go for the boss node. So here we go. Like I mentioned, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ultimate with Kestrel, and what that should do, again, it is a resistance check, but what it should do is it should knock the taunt off of Strife, and then we can CC Madeline Pryor, and then we kind of start working down on Doom. So we'll see. See how our RNG is tonight, and yeah. As we wait for the world's slowest loading. Now, ideally, what I'm going to do here is, ideally, you always want a one-tap. I mean, that's always kind of the goal with raids. If not, though, I will try to set this node up for the next person that hits it. So here we go. We had a good resistance check. She took off the taunt, so we're now going to speed everyone up. And basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of ensuring that I'm going before Madeline Pryor. So we'll reduce the speed bar again with Shang-Chi's ultimate. And... Okay, we're okay health-wise, so I'm going to go over here and just kind of ding Madeline down a little bit further. We're going to go in and do the special, and this basically just stops her from doing her first ability, which can hit really hard, depending on who she hits. And we got some heal up from Maria's passive. Hopefully she lives. Okay, she did. We're going to get a little healing from Shang Chi. And now what we're going to do is basically we're going to control Doom. So we want to now go in and we're going to ability block Doom. And that's going to stop him from doing his ultimate. And yeah. Okay. Let's see. We don't need any heals. So we'll go ahead and basic. And believe it or not, we actually don't have to use Sharon's special here. We're actually going to go in with the basic because it's going to reduce the turn bar, and there we go. Now he's dead. Now the reason I did that is I actually wanted the special available for Emma over here, and what I'm going to do is if I don't kill Emma, I'm going to ability block her, and which I'm actually going to kill her here, so no worries on that. So now, my new target for the ability block is actually going to be Polaris. Polaris has this weird tendency, she hits kind of hard with her ultimate. So let's see, hopefully we get a turn before Polaris. We didn't, it's okay. So, we're going to change the plans. We're going to heal up with Maria, get those disrupts off, and now I'm actually going to ability block the Madeline Pryor. And you do have to be a little bit adaptive on this node, based off of kind of like what happens. I'm going to go ahead and slow down this Carnage. And this is actually going to be a nice one-shot. We'll go in, and this is pretty easy cleanup now at this point. We'll go in, get rid of this Madeline Pryor, ping, there we go. It is annoying that the Cap Sam is cloned over here, but it's okay. He is a clone, so he's not that good. And yeah, that was a really nice one tap for the skill boss. Again, a good RNG day. But what I would say is the main points where it's not as fluid. Ultimate with Kestrel on the Strife, do the super kick from Shang Chi and slow everyone down, and then you are going to CC the Madeline Pryor, and then basically work down Doom. And then after that, it just kind of depends how the rest of the node goes. Be adaptive. But yeah, that was the skill nodes. So I'm actually kind of happy because, one, I had really good RNG. That's always a good thing. Normally when I try to film these skill nodes, I have like the world's worst RNG, and the video doesn't end up happening, so that was a good thing. But I also like that I was able to kind of show the different RNG aspects of the skill nodes and kind of show it on two different accounts. You got to see good RNG on the first node, on Vagar, and I would say pretty good RNG on the second node, but we did still lose Shang-Chi. And then on Vermithor, you saw bad RNG for the first node, and phenomenal RNG for the second node, and really good RNG for the third node. So hopefully y'all did find this video helpful. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'm always happy to make more content if it's something you want to see in particular. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you are having a good week. Take it easy, and I will see you next time.